Okay, fellas, this is a Ford 8N explanation of how it works video. I'm not sure how many of you work on your own tractors, but I work on mine, and sometimes I run into problems and I go to YouTube. Well, there's no really any YouTube videos out there that let you see the insides of a Ford 8N tractor. So by no means I'm an experienced expert. I'm just a shade tree farmer, mechanic, cowboy, and all I got is a little know-how. Got most of it taking things apart. So I'm going to show you what it looks like apart, and with some end wrenches and a little ball peen hammer and some good WD-40 or PB Blaster, you can get one of these things apart and back together. They're built really good and solid. A lot of big bolts. Nothing really hard to work on, but it helps to kind of know what's inside there and what you're going to be seeing, and that's why I'm making this video, because couldn't really find any out there on YouTube. So as you can see, the tractor is in 3 pieces. You take the hood off, self-explanatory. You got a few bolts, take the hood off, undo the gas line, and the hood will come off. Probably need a little help getting that off. I'm a little stubborn to do it by myself, but you need to get over that radiator to get it off. So, little 4-cylinder engine. As you can see, I got a strap on it right there. Got a couple of jacks underneath it. You need to support the motor because you got to marry it back up with the transmission. So, make sure you get a good support on it before you start splitting it. You'll see the clutch and pressure plate. That's the nose of the starter sticking out right there. Clutch and pressure plate. To take that off, you got some bolts. I'm going to try to do this without causing a lot of problems. Right here, these bolts go around your pressure plate. You can take it off. Sorry. You can take it off. Your pressure plate comes out, and you got to use a spline tool inside. Let's see if I can get a light in here. If you can see that spline, it's just a little plastic tool. You can order it from eBay or Tractor Place, and they're real cheap, a few dollars. And I'm gonna try to get my hand in there and show you. You gotta, when you take the flywheel off, you gotta use that spline tool right here. Stick in that spline right there, and it'll line your clutch up. And then you tighten your bolts up, and then you pull the tool out, and your shaft will go back in. You can marry the tractor back up. I've got the shaft pulled right now, so you really can't see. It would have been sticking out here. I'll try to stick my camera in there a little bit. You can see the hole in the transmission. That's where the shaft would come out. Also note that in that hole right there is where this bearing assembly sticks through. These bearings are sitting on top of the transmission, but they'll drop through that hole. So keep that in mind, that they will drop through that hole. And the nose of that shaft right there has a bearing that fits on it. Okay, right here has a bearing fits on here. Goes down inside here. If you can see right there, these 4 right in here. There's the bearing race is in the shaft, so it marries up there and bolts up. Real simple. There's 2. I don't know if you can see the bottom one in there for the bottom shaft. See the plate? That's all you got to do to take these transmissions apart. Take these plates off. I'm going to the back of it now. See the plates, the holes. There's a bottom plate there. It goes to your PTO. Your PTO shaft goes through there. And by the way, to split one of these tractors, let me get this light here. Yeah, there you go. There's your hydraulic kick on and off and shaft, and then if you look inside there's your hydraulic pump and your shaft going to your rear end. Side plates give you a little better view. I don't know if you can see in there. Let me get my camera at a little better angle. Forgive me for moving around so much. Sorry. I don't know if you can see inside there, but there's your shaft going through. All this holds oil. 90 weight gear grease goes in there. Goes through your transmission and your rear end. Okay. So your gear grease runs from here, well actually right here, all the way back through into the rear end. You got a drain plug on the rear end, a drain plug here in the transmission, and another drain plug up front there to drain all your grease out. Very simple. If your lift goes out, these bolts right here, you can take that lift plate completely off. It has a cylinder in there. You can pull that piston out of that cylinder, very simple, couple of bolts. You can order a ring set for it and put it back together. If it's not messed up, it'll usually work just fine. Very simple. I will tell you that inside this hole, I'm going to get my hand down here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's your hydraulic pump. There's a couple of valves in there that cost about $21. They're real cheap. They slide right out with your hands. One's like a spark plug. You got to turn it out. They're control valves. They're about $21. They're cheap. They're very, very inexpensive, but very important. So if you ever get one down this far, put 2 new control valves in it. I use a Tractor Supply House that Tractor Parts ASAP. You can get just about anything you need for these. But there you go. There's a Ford 8N broken down in 3 pieces. If you got any questions, respond to my video and I'll try to answer them. Oh yeah, one more thing, very important. These 2 holes on the side of the transmission. This one holds your shifting arms. You got to take these bolts out to pull your shifting arms out, not your shifting lever, the shifting arms. And I'm probably not even saying it right, but that's the best I know. The yokes that go over your gears, these little bolts right here, you got to take them out, and they see this rod right here. Every one of these yokes have a rod. They slide right out the back, but you got to pull this bolt out because it's got a spring and a ball bearing underneath it, and it will not let that rod move backwards till that spring is backed off that ball bearing. Then you can take your whole transmission apart. Very simple. If I can do it, anybody can. Trust me. I'm going to go around to the back. You can see the PTO shaft right there is gone. I pulled it out. It's got 4 bolts. Put you some good sealer and gasket on there. When you put it back together, it slides straight out the back end. No problems. So Ford 8N, not a big deal, really. It's a good little tractor. They're solid and they're easy to work on. 4-cylinder flathead. They have a Marvel carburetor, most of them. I'll get around here and see if I can show this to you without stopping my video and killing myself. This little Marvel carburetor is very simple, but it's also complicated. It's easy to work on, but you better get it right because you'll be taking it apart if you don't. It's right there. They're good cast iron, heavy built. They got a needle and seat in them. They're easy to take apart. 4 bolts right on top. These 2 take it off the manifold and you got it apart. Buy your gasket set and everything else before you take it apart. I will give you one tip. If the needle and seat, if the seat is good, leave it alone. Don't touch it because you can mess one up just trying to get it out. If it's good, polish it up a little bit with some cloth and some cleaning fluid and leave it in there. Put your new needle in and float and you'll be good to go. That's about it. I don't know anything else to tell you other than I wanted to make this video because I'd never cracked one in 3 pieces and couldn't find any advice really as far as video. There's a lot of, you can buy an IT manual and it'll show you how to do this, but I need to see it with my eyes, and I hope this helps a lot of you guys out. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, as long as you block everything up, make it steady. Underneath this transmission is a piano dolly. I got it at one of the local stores for like $24. It'll hold up a piano. It'll surely hold up an old transmission. So there you go. That's a video for you. I hope I've answered some questions maybe some of you guys have had, and if not, shoot me a line and I'll try to help out. Thank you very much, YouTube, for letting guys like us put these videos on so we can help each other out. And as I I would say to everybody else, God bless, and I'll be praying for you, especially when you're working on one of these.